Tigray dissident fighters have disclosed where they are located. A Tigray fighter posted a video message 24 hours ago. I think the message hints at where these fighters are based. Welcome to my views and news. Thank you for watching the channel. There's two new stories in this video. Thousands of Tigray fighters are on the verge of starting an armed movement against the ruling groups in Tigray. But where are they based? How many are they? With which weapons are they equipped? How organized are they? These questions are being asked. I spoke about their likely location. Now, a confirmation by a Tigray fighter himself. Second news story is about Eritreans. Ethiopia is deporting Eritreans. Nothing is being said by Ethiopian official news sources, but silently hundreds of Eritreans are being deported. Let's have a look at this story first about Eritreans being deported from Ethiopia. A few weeks ago, you know that hundreds of Eritreans were deported. Less than 500 were deported, I think. Back then, human rights organizations issued statements asking Ethiopia that those who enter Ethiopia should not be deported, that they are asylum seekers, they're refugees. So Ethiopia should respect the refugee rights of those who enter Ethiopia. Back then, I did several videos. I told you that majority of the deportees, Eritrean deportees, was arrested in Addis Ababa. From Addis Ababa, they were taken to the Afar border, and there they were handed over to Eritrean authorities. That happened several weeks ago, around 2 months ago, you can say, around 2 months ago. This deportation, which I am mentioning, it's a new development. It happened in recent days, you can say almost a week ago. Almost a week ago, 2 Eritreans were deported. How many? Around 400. You can say in the last 10 days, around 400 Eritreans were deported by the Ethiopian government. Again, they were arrested in Addis Ababa. Majority of them was arrested in Addis Ababa. It seems that the Ethiopian government wants to ensure there is no Eritrean in Addis Ababa. Why? Because it's the capital, and Ethiopian government officials, Ethiopian police, they accuse Eritreans of being involved in criminal activities. I'm not justifying the deportation of Eritreans, but federal police, Addis Ababa police, they accuse some Eritreans in recent press briefings of being involved in criminal activities in the capital city. So I think that Eritrean presence in capital is not going to be tolerated, because Ethiopian intelligence agency is of the view that these Eritreans could be used by Eritrean intelligence agency to spy on the government officials, on the government itself in the capital. Around 400 Eritreans were arrested in the last 10 days. Maybe more were arrested. 400 were deported. From Addis Ababa, again, the same route was taken. They were taken to the Afar border, and they were left at Afar Eritrea border. They were made to enter Eritrea. No statement from the Eritrean government so far. Eritrean government loves just forcing its people out, because these people then send money to the Eritrean government, or to the Eritrean people, to the government. I've been saying that illegal migration from Eritrea is a source of earning for Eritrean government. Same is the case for Ethiopia too. Ethiopian migrants, when they reach Middle East, they send remittances to the Ethiopian government, to their loved ones, but through the Ethiopian government. So this campaign of deportation has begun now. Ethiopia is deporting Eritreans, though there are tens of thousands of Eritreans in Ethiopia. All of them cannot be deported, but I think they will be forced to join Eritrean opposition groups. I read a video about that a few days ago. Brigade Hamidov wants these Eritrean refugees in Ethiopia to join their armed struggle against the Eritrean government. And Brigade Hamidov wants Ethiopian government to make it mandatory for these refugees in Ethiopia to get a card issued by the Brigade Hamidov office in Addis Ababa. These Eritreans suffering, wherever they go, suffering follows. I mean, they flee their country for better future, for better economic opportunities, but now they have to fight here in Ethiopia, join Brigade Hamidov and take up arms against the Eritrean government, or they could be deported. Djibouti deporting Ethiopians who are without legal documents. Ethiopia deporting Eritreans who are without legal documents. Saudi Arabia deporting Ethiopians, others. Western countries deporting Africans. So this cycle, it will go on until these countries take responsibility for their people, for the betterment of the lives of their people. Second story is about Tigray and dissident fighters. Different names are being coined for them. Some call them Tigray freedom fighters, others call them Tigray special peace forces. Some call them Tigray peace forces. I call them Tigray dissident fighters. They disagree with the status quo in Tigray. That is why we can call them dissident fighters. Anyway, where are these fighters based? I did a video on that in a live chat. I share details of the districts in the far region where they are based. A Tigray fighter who is part of this dissident group released a video 24 hours ago. And he asked youths, people of Tigray, to join them. He talked about the suffering of the people of Tigray. He justified their armed struggle, saying, since people of Tigray are suffering, there is no justice in Tigray. That is why this is the time to fight back. And he said there is hope that they'll bring about change in Tigray. It is TPLF too. Interestingly, he mentioned his location indirectly. He said, whenever government people or these armed groups talk about their location, they generally use the word forest or bush. Government would say fighters in the bush, fighters in the forest, fighters in the bush. No one used the term desert. I mean, when you talk about Fano fighters, Ola fighters, use the term forest. Forest. Fighters in forest means anti-government fighters. This man in the video used the word desert. He said, we are in the desert. We'll fight for our people to alleviate their suffering. Are there any deserts in Tigray? Tigray is not known for having deserts. It's basically a mountainous area. There are deserts on southern Tigray, a far border. Deep into a far, that is Danakil. But the desert area in southern Tigray starts on southern Tigray, a far border. Churcher, close to Churcher, Edi Javano, near Edi Javano, which is in southern Tigray, there is desert-like area. Near Dilate to southern Tigray, a far border, there is desert-like area. And then when you go deep into a far, you see large desert there. There could be some desert areas in northern Tigray too, but that area is controlled by TPLF and Tigray military. The present TPLF. So the presence of Tigray fighters there is very unlikely. It means these Tigray fighters are definitely based in a far region in southern Tigray, mainly on the border. That is why they are saying we are in the desert. Watch the clip of the Tigray fighter who is mentioning that they are in a desert. Thanks for watching.
ናይ ናጽነት ተቃላሳይ ውን ሕዚ ድማ አንጻር ጨቋን ስርዓት ሓራ መሬት ወሪዶ ኣለኹ እቲ ናይ ሰላም ቃልሲ ጠረጴዛ ሰይሮም ወይ ትግራይ ኣብ ታሪኻ ገጢምዋ ዘይፈልጥ ውርደት የጋጢምዋ ኣብ ዝኾነ ታሪኽ ዓለም ዘይተገበረ ናይ ህዝቢ ብሔራዊ ትካል ፍሪሶም ናይ ህዝቢ ብሔራዊ ትካል ፍሪሶም ማለት መንግስትነት ፍሪሶም ማለት ድሕር ኸዚ ናይ ድርድር ዓቕሚ የብልካን ናይ ፖለቲካል ዝብ ዓቕሚ የብልካን ተምልሶ ትደራደሮ ተኽብሮ ረብሓ የለን ስለዚ ክኾን ዝኽእል ዓዲ ሸፋት እዩ ክኾን ዝኽእል ዓዲ ሌባዊ እዩ ክኾን ዝኽእል ዓዲ ቀተልትን ዓመፅትን እዩ ያው ከምቲ ሶም ዝገብርዎ ኣለዉ መንግስቲ ከይህሊ ተሓታትነት ከይህሊ ፍትሒ ከይረጋገጽ ዞም ሰባዚኦም ዝደለይዎ ወርቅ እንዳሰረቁ ዝደለይዎ መሬት እንዳሰረቁ ዝደለይዎ ነገር ኩሉ እንዳገበሩ ሰብ እንዳነገዱ ቶም ሕዚ ሕዋትና ዝብልዎም ዘለው ኤርትራውያንስ ይነግድዎም ውን ነይሮም እዚ ብጽንዓት ዝተረጋገጸ ሓቂ እዩ ስለዚ ሰብ እናነገዱ ከም ድሌቶም ንኽኾኑ ናይ ግድን መንግስቲ ክፈርስ ኣለዎ መንግስቲ ተልዩ ናይ ሕጊ ተሓታትነት ከልዩ ፍትሒ ክረጋገጽ ፍትሒ ከይረጋገጽን መንግስቲ ተሓታትነት ከይህልን ሕገ መንግስቲ ከይሰፍን ሕጋዊ ታይፉም ከይህሊ መንግስቲ ተፍሪሶም ናብ ሙሉእ ቀተልቲ ጨወይትን ከተርትና ዝኮኑሉ ስርዓት አሕና ኾፊልና ነምልሶ ነረጋግጾ ታይፉም ስለዚ ንበረኻ መውራድ ነይሩ በረኻ ወሪድና በረኻ ከመይ ጸኒሕካ ብጣዕሚ ጽቡቕ ኒሕ ወነ ዝተዓጠቀ ሕራነ ዝተዓጠቀ አንጻር ጭቆና ዝቃለስ ብሉጽ ወለደሎ ጽቡቕ ተስፋ ዘለዎ ናይ ምግባር ዓቕሚ ዘለዎ ኩሉ ክገብር ተኽእሎ ዘለዎ ባርነት ዝተጸየፈ ዓርሱ ሓራውጽዩ ንህዝቡ ካብ ጭቆና ካብ ባርነት ካብ መግዛእቲ ዓዱ ድማ ካብ ጓሓልቲ ከድሕን ዝተወደበ ጥዑም ስብስብ ሓንቲ ጥዑምቲ ታይሹም ደገልጸልካ ትግራይሲ ኣብ ሓራ መሬት ረኺበያ ካብ ጫፍ ሑመራ እስካብ ጫፍ ራያ ካብ ጫፍ ተንቤን እስካብ ጫፍ ኢሮ ስለዚ ትግራይ ኣብዚ ክረኽባ ከለኹስ ዝስማዓካ ተሕጓስ ግደፎ ስለዚ ናይ ፍትሒ ተቃላሳይ ንከተሎ መንእሰይ ተጎልቢብካ ሞተይ ትጸበ ትመውት ኢኻ ዘለኻ መቃብርኻ ባዕልኻ ይትኹዓት ውፃእ ዓርስ ካድሕን ህዝቢ ካድሕን ዚያ ይኽብሎም ዝደሊ
ህዝቢ ትግራይ ታይ ክጽበለው ካባኹም ምስኪ
ካባና ዝጽበዮ ኣብ ቀረባ ግዜ ፍትሒ እዩ እዞም ጨኮንትን ኣብ ዝባኑ ኣብ እንግድዑ ቸቸት ዝብልዎ ዘለው ኬሚካል ናፍሰሱ ዘቃጽልዎ ዘለው ኣብ ቀረባ ግዜ ናይ ሕጊ ተሓታትነት ኣረጋጊጽና ናይ ፍትሒ ሕቱ ክንምልሰሉ እዩ እዚ እርግጸኛ ኮይነ እዩ ዝነግረካ ኣለኹ ተወለዶ ንሂሮሎ ህዝብና ሓቦ ጥራይ ኮነን ዘሰንቀና ዘሎ ኩሉ ነገር እናሰነቀ ይሰደልና ኣሎ ህዝብና ዝሰደደልና ንበልዕ ኣለና ህዝብና ዝሰደደልና ንክደን ኣለና ህዝብና ዝሰደደልና ንሰተለና ስለዚ ነዚ ክሕሱ ፍትሒ እዩ ከምዚ ናይ ትማሊ ንስልቲልና ነዋግዖ ወግዕ ይኮነን ንሓቂ እዩ ንፍትሒ ኢና ንቃለስ ኣለና ንረትዒ ኢና ንቃለስ ኣለና